So a couple quick updates on some of the stuff that's going on right now with Tulsi. And the Joe Rogan thing. Did you guys hear that he was gonna sue MSNBC over misuse of a clip?
$30 million.
Hell yeah. Get that, baby.
You know it's not even true.
Oh, hell.
I was looking for it all last night.
Yeah, it's not true.
Where did that rumor start from then?
Some people were posting it for some reason.
Well, a week ago, this guy that does like comedy clips, he was talking about how the lawsuit's gonna be out. And it started from him. Everyone's just reviewing that guy. That's probably why I couldn't find any official thing on it.
Yeah, so far there's no official record that he's doing it. There's nothing filed that you can actually like see.
Yeah.
But maybe that's like an internal thing that leaked that he's planning to do.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. But basically there was a clip of him way back talking about Tulsi Gabbard on his podcast. And then MSNBC repurposed that clip and made it sound like he was talking about Kamala.
Mm-hmm. Bro.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous because the stuff that he was saying was like about how Tulsi served and like overseas and like stuff that's never happened with Kamala. So it was they purposely did that. So I don't know if they really are suing, but so far there's no actual proof of it. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. Also, Trump just recruited Tulsi.
Oh yeah, to help
with the debate.
Train for the debate.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Are very Well, Tulsi. I don't even know who Kamala was.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Kalama. I didn't know who she was until Tulsi roasted the shit out of her during the primaries.
Yeah. And remember how Tulsi explained it when she was here? She was like, this was my only chance to say something. It didn't even pertain to what they were talking about, but she's like, it's my only chance to confront her about this one issue.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
She took it.
Kalama.
Yeah.
You mean Kalama?
Kalama.
Kalama.
So because she's like known to have obliterated her in that debate or whatever, Trump is like recruiting her to help with his debate.
Let's go.
Did you know that Judge Joe Brown? Remember that dude?
Yeah, I saw the videos of him talking about Kamala.
I didn't.
He goes hard on her.
Yeah.
Dude.
What does he say? What's this thing?
He just calls her a hoe. Like just
Yeah, he
yeah.
says she's lazy.
Hell yeah.
Cause you know, she was the attorney general a little bit for California.
Dude, she looks lazy.
She looks.
Ken, please, that is so mean.
He said, "Well, they know each other." Like,
Dude, he goes hard. He like is really.
but it's because
find
he has no respect for the way that she handled.
He
her
basically said
role.
she slept her way to the top.
Yeah, but as an attorney general,
Maybe he was jealous.
as an attorney general, she fucked up a lot.
Hell yeah.
And this is where like Tulsi came in and she was like, yeah, like you incarcerated so many black men with your stupid marijuana policies.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing that I can't believe people just like act like it never happened.
Right, like people ignoring that fact? Like,
Dude, Kalama, man.
Kalama.
Dude, during the I mean, it's hard to believe now because like weed is so legal for recreational use.
Yeah. why
But
would
she
you-
was one of the biggest proponents of putting in a law that incriminated so bad. And then a lot of people went to jail just for having a little bit
Was
of
this
weed.
during like the 90s, you think? When
I forgot the
when
era,
they were
but
big
she
on
was.
crime, you know what I'm talking about?
I forgot the era, but she was the one that did it.
Damn,
Yeah.
really? Her and Biden? They both did it?
No, Biden wasn't working with her. They weren't. Dude, do you remember during the primaries? There's footage of her calling Biden a racist.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so he's a racist, but then you're gonna ally with him? That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it's really weird.
That was so weird.
But I guess that's kind of a normal thing in politics where like people are like trying to take each other down and then they have to team up and then it's like nothing ever. The amnesia is so.
Because I mean, look at Vance, right? Like he was saying Trump is fucking garbage. I hate him. I would never. And then he's his fucking, vice
the
president.
FFs now, right?
That's
yeah.
politics.
Interesting.
The weirdest thing was seeing the. Remember, there's like a video of like Kamala Harris with Montel Jordan.
Yeah.
And she's hot in there, dude. She's hot.
DT.
What did she do? What did she do there?
Was she really like the second girlfriend?
They were dating.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he has like two. Like, who is he
Is
with?
that it?
Is that his like? Is that a relative on the other side?
I don't know.
Got like 2 women.
Ain't
I
no
heard
relative.
that he just had 2 girls.
Shut up.
I heard they're doing it, all 3 of them.
Wait, who'd you hear that? How'd you hear that?
I don't know, I just made it up.
She's known to like notoriously just sleep her way to positions.
That's what Joe Brown was saying, which is crazy to me. That like someone would.
It's probably true.
Dude, she is the definition of fake it till you make it.
Damn.
Yeah, but she made it pretty far.
Yeah, she fucked it hard, yeah.
She's a DEI hire.
Yeah, fucking detention, education, institution.
She's almost like in a weird way. You know how like I've heard this point brought up, but then you know the thing about her being so ruthless to like people that had marijuana possessions and all that stuff. People are like, isn't that what conservatives want? But she doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But like the fact that people were like blasting her for doing that, the comeback was always, yeah, you guys liked that though.
So
It's the Dems that
that's
didn't
so
like that.
weird. You know what's weird to me is like
I think it's the hypocrisy.
Right, but then it's like hypocrisy in the favor of conservative, like what they wanted. So it's kind of strange.
what I don't understand is like we've always been able to scrutinize our own party a lot. And this generation, it's almost like a religion where it's blasphemous to scrutinize your own party. And the Democratic Party's changing so much to the point where it's alienated the fuck out of like normal liberals. Or like people who are traditionally Democrat. And then like I can see why Tulsi walked out and all that. Cause like think about she was the best female candidate they could have found. I think it's just like there's so many way fucking better like, but I just think, well, yeah, she's vice president and then they don't want to lose the funding and it's just a political move. But she's such a poor representation and it's just like a huge failure on the left. Like
I don't think I'll ever get over the fact that nobody voted for her to be the candidate. I think
that's the biggest one. And then everyone falls in line. Like no one questions it like, hey, excuse me, like we didn't have a primary. We didn't even have a choice.
That's crazy.
That's the worst part.
I can't believe that that's like.
And everyone just falls in line like it's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, okay.
I think like you know what's interesting too is like Dems remind me of like chill Catholics. People that are like, oh, I'm Catholic, but they don't do anything Catholic.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of Dems that are just Dems because they catch the vibe and they just dig it.
Well,
you know what I mean? They're not like
I argue that we were born into it.
which is fine. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If that's how their stance is. Very mild. Like I feel like my family's like that, where they're like, yeah, we're Dems.
Yeah, but they also don't care
don't
to
care.
the level
No.
where they would do the
But then
research.
if you're conservative, it looks like you really care. So then they're just not conservative. They're just like, oh, you know, like we just want everyone to be chill. It's cool.
Plus, you know, like, you know when you talk about the idea of like, we're about to be in World War III, our nations are at war with each other, but if like aliens came and we had a greater evil than mankind as a species would come together, I feel like Trump is like aliens to Democrats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like an evil so profound
There are people like
that
that.
it doesn't really matter the, you know, the whatever squabbles or whatever things that are incorrect because there's such a larger incorrect at play.
By any means necessary, don't let this
Don't let him
dictator
take power. Yeah, I
But
get
what
it.
I don't understand is he was in office for 4 years and he wasn't a dictator and we had no wars.
If you paid attention. But people that
So
didn't
people-
pay
I
attention.
see.
Yeah, because
They're
if you
just
paid
like-
attention to what he actually did that wasn't shown on TV.
But nobody
versus
consumes
what-
just truth. Everybody consumes their version of like wherever they take in news.
Yeah, because was it
Dude,
like Robert De Niro or like one of these guys that they're talking about we got to do by any means necessary, not bring him in because he's going to, he's a dictator. And I'm all like, huh? I don't remember that.
Yeah, because on TV he's a bigot and all this, but then if you did research or just even a Google search of what happened when Trump was president, you could see all the good shit that happened.
If we're gonna be like super fucking honest, like my life hasn't changed throughout any president that much.
Yeah.
But what has affected my life is state government policies.
Local government and state.
Local, and that doesn't change no matter who's president.
The
Really,
governor.
you know what I mean? Like if Kamala was president, California would probably still be fucking up at my loss. You know what I mean? So I don't really see it as like whatever, man. Like
Well, we do feel the trickle down effects of like the greater economy. So like if we're like at fucking international war and stuff like that, and then money's being spent in our military industrial complex and being sent overseas and stuff, and then suddenly we reach points of inflation, or like if things like COVID is mismanaged, we are feeling the effects. It's hard to quantify or point fingers at, you know, like a singular person, entity, or even party. But like those things can affect us. So if somebody who's in a position to at least enact some sort of like thing that can adjust the economic climate, then I think those things do affect us over a period of time.
As long as there's a fighting chance, like let's say A or B or C was president, if you still had a shot at navigating your life, it's not the end of the world. But then in California, if you're doing good, bad, medium, if someone just kills you randomly, that's not really fair to me. You know what I mean? That doesn't really, I feel like whoever's president doesn't change the fact that it's unsafe.
People should focus on their local government, because that's like if you decide to have a family there, how your school's gonna be ran, like that's all the boring stuff that I think the way people look at politics is, oh, it's gonna be so ruined if Trump just gets in. Or other people go, he's gonna save us all. It's like 4 years is not a long time.
It's neither. It's neither.
Yeah.
And half of that is spent fucking convincing you.
No, like
Exactly.
you being active in your community and giving a fuck of what's happening.
It really is
on your that.
Within arm's reach first.
That's way like, dude, worrying about the fucking how the sewer system is affecting this in your fucking city, the water problem, whatever. Like that shit affects your day way more than who's in the White House.
Also, it's how you do business. Like, I'm not too global, but like, let's say fucking Kamala's relationship with China goes sour.
Yeah.
That'll affect Anthony way fucking more than it will us.
He can't do his CCP tours.
Because remember when there was like an embargo? I think something was happening in China one time where they were like, oh, they stopped trade, and it fucked everything up. Because I was there at the time, and I remember they were pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? That's crazy. That could affect, you know, if that's a big proponent of your career, then yeah. But then if you're just a guy that's into politics, then it's not really affecting you as big as it is other people. Because it's like the politicking affects me more than the policies.
What I want, like for me, it's not so much one party is benevolent and the other one's a demon. Like that's how people like to see it. I look at who sponsors each politician, because they're not working for me.
Nah, nobody.
So you gotta look at each politician as if they're a race car driver with like different sponsorships, right? Yeah. And you know,
Different
like
specs.
yeah, and you look at who donated to their campaign, and you go, okay, so that's who they're working for.
But you can't even see all of them. That's the scary part.
A lot of the times it's pretty apparent, but people don't study the individuals. What they do is they'll just blame other things that don't even fucking matter. So it's like, clearly it's like, okay, if Pfizer gave them like hella fucking money, who do you think, what do you think their stance is gonna be on pharmaceuticals? It's like, duh, right?
Of course they're gonna be like, get the virus.
Wouldn't everybody that had a shot at being president be backed by some form of pharmaceutical?
There's some that don't.
That have zero farm?
Yeah.
Trump.
Trump has zero farm.
I don't know about that. Like,
I don't know. I was just saying Trump. Yeah.
I just can't imagine anyone with a real shot at becoming president not being involved in everything that has power. Like,
You have
it's,
to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
just
have
doesn't seem
to.
possible to me. Like, how do you avoid that?
I think they're sponsored by different camps. So like, for me, it's like choosing your poison, right? So for me, it's like, who's your special interest? For example, the Bush family, their interest is banking, oil, and war, right? For Trump, I was like, well, the difference is he's a real estate family, and his special interest is real estate. That's why real estate did really fucking good during his time, because whenever people go in, they're hooking up their homies. Obama was net neutrality, and after he left office, he made a fuck ton of money with Netflix and all these other internet companies, where with the SOPA and PIPA and all these things that he put into play, he benefited from that. So if you look at the policies that they're involved in, you can see like whose homies they're hooking up. So it's like big tech backed up Obama. Trump, it's with real estate. Bush family, it's oil, war, you know? For me, I'm like, okay, well, let me vote in the people that aren't for war. At least we have someone in that might, you know,
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is,
not profit off of our
only
deaths.
candidate that was not for war was Tulsi, right?
Openly?
Yeah. And then her shot was so low. It was like hard to.
I think because there's too many people getting paid by all the war machine.
Was Trump for war? Because I don't think
so.
I don't think he.
No, but he didn't campaign on it like the way Tulsi does. Yeah, and Ron Paul was one of the dudes that were like, he was traditionally been libertarian.
Whether we go to war or not, the military-industrial complex budget doesn't. It's always going to be astronomical, right?
They don't make as much money. So like during the Trump administration, they didn't make as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't pushing or anything like that.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh.
They're making a lot during Biden's.
Yeah.
Cause like, you don't profit if you don't sell ammunition.
Rockets, tanks.
One of my closest friends, his father worked for a company that was in like selling missile parts. So basically, they were living in an apartment, and when the Iraq War started, they became like millionaires, and that's because it's like they got these government contracts and all that stuff, and it's like, how? Well, yeah, like you don't make money unless you're selling ammo. If the ammo's not being used, how? Yeah.
Dang, if only we can get back to 9/11 vibes, but without the disaster and the war on terror.